everyone kind of pop on at the end so we can see all your amazing faces and see the projects that you guys have created. So I know some of you have the project materials in front of you, some of you don't. That's totally okay. Feel free to follow. And with that, go ahead and make sure that if you are making the project that you have disinfected your space, that you are in a well-ventilated area, and that you have cleaned your equipment with either a 5% bleach solution or some isopropyl alcohol, right, Matt?
Yeah, isopropyl 60 to 70% is suitable for sanitation.
Awesome. Yeah. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and sanitized. And then if you want to, you may want to grab some safety goggles. So Matt and I have our safety goggles here, super fun pink goggles, and we're just going to go ahead and put those on to get ready. And we're ready to start making our project. So once you guys are settled, we're going to go ahead and walk you through the steps of the project. The rose mask that we're making today has a lot of amazing skincare benefits. One of them being that it is really high in antioxidants. It's very hydrating and moisturizing. And actually, Matt, what are some of the benefits of facial masks?
Yeah, I actually really love this project. There's two key ingredients that provide a lot of multifunctional benefits. The antioxidants you mentioned are coming from the rosehip seed oil. On top of that, the rosehip seed oil is very rich in vitamins that are also, they replenish your skin and they help to provide more supple and youthful appearance. In the real star here is the clay. This organic clay sourced from France is colored pink, and besides being fun to look at, it actually helps to remove impurities from the surface of the skin and draw excess oil out, which then helps to create a more youthful, brighter appearance and also balance oil production in the skin, so it can actually help clear out excess oil that might cause blemishes.
Awesome. And like all those impurities, so it helps to detoxify.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, that's the simple way to put it. Yeah.
Awesome. And on top of that, it has this really beautiful pink color, which is why we chose it for Valentine's Day. So if you guys have some friends over right now, you guys are making this together, a super fun project to either do right now or gift to your loved ones after this project is over. So we'll go ahead and get started here. We've got our rose clay. This is going to be the first ingredient we are going to just prep. We have 4.5 ounces of rose clay that we've measured out here. So if you're making the project at home and you've got the multiple pouring pitchers and the instructions online, you can use multiple pouring pitchers. We have pre-measured ours in a ramekin here, but you're just going to measure that 4.5 ounces on your digital scale. Make sure to tare your dish beforehand. So you'll take your empty dish, put that on your scale, tare it, and then you'll go ahead and add your clay to measure the appropriate amount of clay for the project. And once that's done, you'll go ahead and set that aside. And then the next step is we're going to go ahead and heat our emulsifying wax with our rosehip oil. Can you tell us a little bit about emulsifying wax, Matt?
So emulsifying wax is basically, it's going to allow for the oils to be incorporated into the water, and that's what's going to allow for all those hydrating, moisturizing properties from the oil to actually benefit your skin and be able to be deposited and provide oils and vitamins and antioxidants.
Amazing. So we're going to go ahead and pour those together in an empty pouring pitcher. So we've got our glass pouring pitcher here, and we are just going to add our, this is, I'm sorry, 1.8 ounces of emulsifying wax and a 1.6 ounces of cold pressed rosehip oil. So you're going to go ahead, we've already pre-measured these, and we're just going to put those into our pouring pitcher here. Matt, if you want to go ahead and grab the rosehip oil.
Sure.
All those little beads here.
Can try to make sure I get as much off the sides as possible.
Yeah, we can grab our spatula too if we need it. You think you got most of it on there? Awesome.
The spatula is over there?
Oh, yeah, so
yeah. I'll just go ahead and
scrape that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and scrape that. That way, you know, you're getting as close to what you actually measured as possible, and that's
really important.
That'll help down the line with consistency in the formula.
Science, awesome. So then we'll go ahead and we're going to heat this up in the microwave in 30-second intervals until it's fully melted. So we're going to go ahead and actually our microwave is over here. So those of you viewing at home, go ahead and pop that in the microwave. And it may take a few rounds to get it fully melted. Our microwave that we're using today does not have a very high strength, unfortunately. So we may need to microwave it a little bit longer. But those of you at home, if you've got a really high powered microwave, it may take a little bit shorter to melt. So
right, that's not a problem. You want to, the slower you heat something up, usually the more gentle and better it preserves all of the actual components that are beneficial, and that way we don't ever have to get close to the smoke point of the oil either.
Amazing. Yeah, so that's a really great tip, everyone at home, for you if you're new making body care products. You want to make sure that you don't overly heat or really zap the oils. Otherwise, you can denature them and ruin some of their antioxidant properties, right?
Correct, yeah.
Amazing. So while everyone's doing that at home, Matt, do you want to tell us a little bit about the benefits of masks and why they're beneficial?
Yeah, no problem. Facial masks are a really great product type to use when you have something that you really have a specific benefit you want to see from your product, because it's great because it allows you to keep the product on for a longer period of time, which allows more beneficial ingredients to actually penetrate the surface of the skin and be able to reach the lower levels of the skin that actually can help improve collagen production and youthful looking skin.
Awesome. This guy here. So then in terms of this particular one, you've got the really great anti-wrinkle benefits from the rosehip oil, and then the antioxidant components and the minerals in the clay, which really get that deep penetration from sitting on your skin for a long time.
Correct. And yeah, those antioxidants help to not only soothe the skin with, actually it'll help soothe sensitive or irritable skin, as well as they actually can help to improve the health of the skin by preventing damage that would otherwise be happening from free radicals and things like that the antioxidants then scavenge.
Awesome. Yeah, lots of science around that. That's so cool. Do you have any other tips about skincare that you can share with everyone?
So for those of you who are just getting started in skincare, I find it can be really overwhelming sometimes when you have a list of hundreds of ingredients to choose from. I would say start simple and either go one of two ways. Have a specific product type and a benefit you want to see from that product in mind, and kind of really build the, I'm going to call it the chassis of the formula around that, because that's going to be the functional vehicle that gets your beneficial properties to the skin. Or you can go the other way with it, and if you have 2 to 3 ingredients that really speak to you and you want to make those the star of your product, I would say start with those and figure out what the best application for those types of ingredients would be, and build that chassis around the ingredients instead. But yeah, it's really best you just keep it simple.
Nice. I like that. That's such a great tip for so many things in life, right?
Yes.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be philosophical here, but yeah.
Nice. Well, amazing. We're almost done microwaving our oils. And then the next thing that we're going to do, make sure that you have pre-measured 20 ounces of distilled water. So we actually have our pitcher of distilled water somewhere back over here. And then we're going to be microwaving this guy next, and then we'll be combining the oil and the emulsifying wax with the water. So you're going to want to make sure that you go ahead and tear your pouring pitcher that you are pouring your water into, and then measure 20 ounces of water if you're following along at home. And it's important to make sure that you have enough water so that the ingredients combine properly, and then again, that you don't risk changing your formula.
Right. And another aspect of that too is whenever you want to, what we're performing here, this ingredient is called emulsification. Whenever you want to emulsify 2 ingredients, or generally mix any 2 things together, it's best if they're at the same temperature, more or less. So if we were to put this warm oil into the cold water, we'd run the risk that the waxes and the oils would re-solidify rapidly, and then we wouldn't be able to mix them into the final formula.
Yeah, amazing. So temperature is another big part of this. So we're actually going to be taking the temperature of this as well. And we want this to be around 160 and 170 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and take that temperature while we're microwaving our water. Yep, I'm going to stick that in. Actually, this way.
Oh.
Yep, teaching you how to, if you guys are new to the digital thermometer that we have, it's got this nice little holder on the side. So you'll go ahead and just stick that on the side there, and it'll take the temp for us. And then while that's happening, we'll go ahead and get some of these supplies out of the way.
Doing your dishes is also an important part of making skincare.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about why we want to disinfect everything? I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, so disinfecting is a really important part of getting started, because it helps to remove the variables of contamination of bacteria and mold. That it's something that you can't see, so you never can really be sure unless you start really from a clean slate. Pun not intended there, but Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you start with something sanitized, you can remove that variable because these products do require preservation, which is actually this ingredient right
Yeah,
here.
we'll get to that in a second, the GeoGuard.
And so these help to prevent bacterial and mold from growing in the product. But if mold and bacteria is already introduced into the product through the mixing phase, it then becomes a lot harder to get a product that's not going to mold over time because these ingredients are more, not to be technical, they're bacteriostatic, where they'll hold the level of bacteria, but they're not meant to kill bacteria outright because then they hurt your skin.
Wow, that's really interesting. So basically what it's doing is it's preserving it just enough to where it's not going to be harsh on your skin.
Correct. Yeah. Otherwise, something that kills bacteria would also theoretically kill the skin, the cells of your skin.
Yeah, and we don't want that. That's for sure.
No, yeah,
especially when you're making skincare, right? Cool. So we're just going to keep heating our water here for a little bit longer. The water, we also want it to be between 160 and 170 degrees, like Matt said, so that they're about the same temperature. And then we're both going to let them cool to about 130 to 140 degrees when we add our other ingredients. So this one is a little bit time consuming, waiting for all this to melt and get ready. But once you're ready, that's when all the magic happens.
Yes. You get to see it form in front of you.
Yeah, turn into something really wonderful. We are going to be using our cucumber fragrance today. Cucumber and lily, I believe, is what the fragrance is. And it is really crisp cucumber and water lilies. Excuse me, guys. Crisp cucumber. I'm like having a hard time talking right now.
No, that's like a tongue twister right there.
You tongue twisters. Crisp. I can't say crisp. Crisp cucumber and water lily. There we go.
I'm not going to try it.
It's really fresh. Amazing. So we have our water here. We're just going to go ahead and take the temperature of our water now. And confirm that. Looks like it's not quite up to the right temp yet, so we're going to go ahead and put that back in the microwave. If you need to throw anything back in the microwave too to make sure it's at the adequate temperature, feel free to do that as well. It's very important, as Matt said, to make sure that they're both a consistent temperature together when you combine them.
And just generally, water will heat a little more slowly than oil.
Do you know why that is?
Oils transfer heat a lot more easily than water does. Yeah.
So interesting. I like learning so much about fatty acids and all this amazing stuff, the scientific stuff around skincare and all these ingredients.
Glad you're not like just weirded out by it. That's
yeah, big science buff here. I know a lot of you at home watching too are big science buffs too. So
and that's what's so awesome about this community.
Yeah, we have an amazing community. All right, we'll try that. This feels a little bit hotter now. I think there's some steam coming off. So this guy is now 130, so that is good. And this guy, we want it to be around 130 as well. Still not quite there, unfortunately. So we're just gonna keep heating that guy up. If you have done that at home, great job. And we will get to the next step momentarily. You want to tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you want to tell us a little bit about GeoGuard unless you had something else that you want to share with everyone?
Yeah, so GeoGuard is it's actually a natural-based preservative blend that's it's actually very widely used in a lot of natural and organic skincare products because it's actually a blend of organic acids that help to preserve they basically help to kill bacteria and fungus.
That's awesome. Yeah. So those of you at home, if you are concerned about using preservatives in your products, the GeoGuard that we offer is all natural, and it's basically one of the highest quality, most natural preservatives that you could use for skin and body care.
Yes. Yeah. I would guess that most people are using a product right now that probably has it.
Awesome. Yeah. That's so amazing. You never know.
Yeah. That's it. My fiance makes me read the label like on everything she buys that's new.
That's amazing. I love that she's like so tuned into that. And I know our community out there too is really important to them. So go ahead, and this looks like it's heating up now, and I'm going to throw this guy just to heat it up a little bit more to match. This guy's getting there.
Oh yeah, that's
Pretty good.
yeah. I would say we're like right at the 130 mark.
Cool. And so we'll just check that one momentarily. Hope you guys all at home tuning in that you guys are having a great day and that you're enjoying this so far. There's so much information about skincare and hair care, and we are going to continue to elaborate on it. Matt is going to be sharing a lot with us too about Jade Rolling in a minute, and we also have Jess who will be sharing about her experience with skincare and body care as well. So stay tuned for that. So after you've been nice and patient in melting down your components here, we're just going to take the temp. And looks like we're good. We're at about 130 degrees for both of these components. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pour our oil mixture into our water mixture, and then we're going to blend that, and it's going to make a milky looking substance. So that is where the emulsification is happening.
Correct. And then would you like to do the honors and mix it?
Sure. I'll get it started.
Oh, I said I can pour the oil.
You wanna go for the oil? Sure.
Yeah. I'll start pouring once the mixing starts going.
Okay.
Say,
Okay, so usually when I turn this on for the first time, I like to kind of just start slowly. There we go.
slow.
But this one doesn't have a...
Yeah, if you go a little closer towards the bottom too, you won't get so much splash. It's more of like a manageable whirlpool. And I'm going to aim for right where the whirlpool is finished. And then as you can see, and that's the magic.
Amazing. Kind of looks like orange dreamsicle.
Yeah, it's that beautiful orange color that comes from the rose hip. And then I know this looks a little fluid right now, but once we add all that clay in there, it'll take on a nice mud-like texture.
All right, so once you've whipped that together,
yep,
you've got your nice milky looking consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just actually gonna borrow this guy and put it off to the side here so we're not dripping all over the place.
That was resourceful.
Awesome. And then
Thermometer down.
can someone hand us a thermometer, please? Cool. So we're going to take the thermometer again, and we're actually going to just confirm that this is between 130 and 140 degrees. And then we're going to add the GeoGuard and the fragrance to it. So you want to go ahead and put the thermometer in one more time?
Sure.
Thermometer down, thermometer down.
It's back up.
Yeah.
Okay. We're waiting.
It was already around that temp when we started, so it should be fine though. But just confirming. So why do we want to wait until this is cooled down to 130, 140 degrees from the 160, 170 before we add our GeoGuard and our fragrance?
So you don't want to add the preservative and fragrance, and in certain cases too, some active materials are not stable at temperatures over when we're going to add these. So if you were to add the GeoGuard when it's too hot, you could run the risk of denaturing the blend, and then it won't be certifiable as a preservative for the product. It would probably not work.
Yeah, for layman's terms.
Yeah. And then fragrance, you don't want to add in too hot because some of those finer, more like high-end beautiful notes kind of tend to get burned off and evaporate away with heat since they're very fragile.
Fragile. Awesome. Well, great. This is ready to go. Around 130 still for adding our fragrance in GeoGuard. So we're going to go ahead and add in 0.2 ounces of GeoGuard. And then Matt, if you want to go ahead and add our fragrance.
Okay.
And then we're going to whip that up.
Okay.
That crisp cucumber and water lily. Like it's so fresh, like really, really spring fragrance. And then we'll go ahead and whip that. And like, I love your whirlpool technique. Pro tip, guys, put it closer to the bottom of the pitcher and create a whirlpool. If you didn't catch that too.
Yeah.
So now that we've added those two ingredients, we're going to start adding our rose clay and blending that in for the final step. And you're going to want to add the rose clay in small little bouts, just so that you're not putting it all in at once, so it spreads evenly throughout the mixture.
Right, and it doesn't clump.
Right. So Matt, I'll go ahead and have you start adding that. I'm gonna
Yep.
get this whirlpool going.
That's kind of like rainbow sherbet.
Yeah.
Once it is thicker like this, you can get away with going a little closer to the top.
Oh.
But a little closer.
Don't get that close, otherwise it'll spread. Yep, right, we have the goggles, and it's thickening really nicely. I see that.
Yeah, so this clay is really great at binding water, and so it helps to create more of like a gel-like texture.
That's great.
That's why you sanitize in between batches.
Yep. And so you're just gonna keep adding the rest of the clay until it's all in there and combined. So we're just gonna keep adding the clay. Please excuse the fire truck in the background. Oh yeah, we can use a spatula to scrape. You'll have a spatula too around. You can go ahead and use that to scrape off the sides just to get it all in there and evenly mixed. As you can see, it's starting to gel up a little bit. It's getting nice and creamy and thick.
Yeah, so as this gets closer back again to room temperature, plus these clays, we're going to see a whole different texture than what happened when we first made the emulsion.
Wow, so exciting. It just like transforms into something completely new.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's like a haircut when it's wet and then they finally dry it.
Right, yeah, and it looks like completely different when it's dry or blow dry. Get that all mixed in there. Get a little bit on you. That's why if you have an apron on, kudos to you. We decided to go apronless this time around, but
We're pretty bold on this one.
yeah, we were bold. All right, go put that in there. I really love the notes of the cucumber and water lily fragrance. It's like very fresh, and I'm getting a little bit of like a sweet floral now undertones. It's really nice.
The mud mask on it.
There, guys.
Yep.
Sometimes that happens.
Try that.
Good little rub it in. Once you have the rest of your clay in, we're just going to give that a few more final swirls. Until everything's fully combined, and your texture should be really thick and creamy, and kind of look like marshmallow fluff is kind of what that looks like to me. You guys can see at home. And once your mask is fully combined, now you can go ahead and spoon it into your jars. So we have a couple jars here. These are our bamboo frosted jars. And you're going to take out the little white insert that's in there. This is for later. And we're just going to scoop the formula into the jars. Matt, if you want to do the honors of doing the first one, or you want me to hold it for you?
I must break off from the previous mixing. There we go. Let's see if this.
Very nice. And then you can always wipe off the tops of the jars too and kind of clean them up after you're done filling them. You're going to want to let this formula sit for a few hours to let it thicken. So 6 to 10 hours is what we recommend. And then you can go ahead and use it within 24 hours. If you've got some friends at home right now and you guys want to go ahead and put it on your skin too, I would just wait till it's a little bit cooler, a little bit thicker to put on your skin in about like 30 minutes or so. And you guys can go ahead and put it on your skin.
Yep. And then when it's cool, if you want to give it kind of like that nice look, you can go ahead and just take the flat end of your spatula and give it a swirl around the top, and you'll give it kind of that
a nice swirly technique
little
on the
wick
top
texture,
to make
yeah.
it look pretty. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So,
Amazing. You want to go ahead and fill that guy?
sure.
And then again, when you're letting them cool, you're going to want to go ahead and set these aside without the lids on and let them cool for 6 to 10 hours.
This is definitely well mixed. Good job, Melissa.
Thank you. Thank you for the support. All right, everyone. So for those of you at home, we'll go ahead and give you a minute to finish filling your jars and getting those situated. And then after Matt's done filling the jar here, we're going to hear a little bit about jade rolling and the benefits of jade rolling for your skin. So those of you who did purchase the project, you got a cute little jade roller. Actually, do not put the lid on. I just caught myself. Don't put the lids on yet. Those of you who did purchase the project already, you received a jade roller with your kit. And Matt, would love to hear about the benefits of jade rolling and why jade rolling is good for your skin.
Yeah, no problem. First, I'm going to take these off now.
Sure, yeah. Get yourself comfortable, get situated here.
Say, felt like a lab class for a sec.
Right. That's exactly what it was.
So yeah, jade rolling is a technique and practice that has been around for centuries. Traditionally used in Chinese medicine and beauty regimens. It was considered, it's very beneficial for the skin because the actual motion of the rolling helps to improve circulation in the skin by improving drainage through the lymphatic system, which another scientific word, sorry about that.
No apologies.
It's basically just the space in between your skin and like the rest of your body systems, like the circulatory and things like that. So it's that fluid in between your skin and your internal system. And by helping to increase the flow through the lymphatic system, you actually help improve detoxification and removal of toxins in the skin that would otherwise remain there and cause more oxidative damage and signs of aging that become visible.
Wow, so amazing. So basically what it does is it helps detoxify your skin, which then makes it healthier.
Yes, it helps to improve detoxification and overall circulation, which can then improve your complexion and have a more youthful blush.
Awesome. And I've also heard that it actually helps increase collagen production too to prevent wrinkles. Is that true?
That is true. Through the detoxification process with less free radicals and harmful molecules in your skin.
Gross stuff under there, yeah.
Your collagen is actually able to be produced without being inhibited by that damage that would otherwise be caused. Mm-hmm. So you get more collagen production just by simply supporting your body's own collagen production.
Amazing. Well, that's amazing because then you don't have to necessarily buy a product or an additional product or put something on your skin to do that.
Right. And so these go great with any kind of serum or mask you would apply, because the action of rolling and keeping it on the skin and spreading it out more evenly will actually help for a more evenly distributed and effective delivery of those beneficial ingredients that are in your skincare product.
Wonderful. So then does that mean that they can use the jade roller on their mask after the mask has been applied, or would you take the mask off and then jade roll?
I would jade roll after you take the mask off.
Cool. So then those of you at home, if you're going to use your mask sometime soon, you can go ahead and jade roll either before or after you take your mask off. Before, if you want to go ahead and stimulate your blood flow before you put the mask on, and then you can jade roll again after you take the mask off to get that benefits of the sinking in, all those good benefits that were just absorbed on there to sink in even further.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Well, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
That's such great information. We're going to go ahead and pass the mic over to Jess from Hawthorn Botanica. Jess, we can't wait to hear a little bit about your experience with releasing a body care line and what you've learned through that process.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Jess.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I wasn't sure if it was working. Hi, I'm happy to be here. My name is Jessica. I own Hawthorn Botanica, and as they were stating, I recently started a skincare line, which was only probably a month or two ago, which means I had to learn quite a lot in a short period of time. And Matt is completely correct when he says that it can be very overwhelming when you first get started. One of my biggest pieces of advice if you're wanting to start a skincare line is hit up YouTube, because there is a lot of awesome free recipes on there, at least just to get started, or you can, like I said, have one of these kits, and that really helps as well. Some of the biggest challenges that you'll probably face when starting a skincare line is learning the unfun stuff about it, which is what do you put on a label, in addition to the common ingredients, the NCI, and you'll also have to learn about how much fragrance oil or essential oils are okay for the skin, which ones you can put on there. One of the best websites that I have found, again, it's completely free, is eocalc.com. If you are somebody who is going to be using essential oils, that is the website I would recommend using, because it gives you the recipes and what exactly is okay to be used for the skin and what's not okay to be used for the skin, so you know you're using quality oils that is safe for if somebody's going to be using it on their body. Of course, you don't want them to have any kind of negative reaction with it. But yeah, so basically with that being said, it's been quite the journey, but I absolutely love that I was able to do this, because I absolutely love skincare, and it's definitely one of those things that if you are a candle maker and you go into skincare, it's just a natural transition. Most people who do soaps will get into candles, and most people who do candles will get into soaps or body butters or body oils or creams or perfumes, because they just go hand in hand and they accent your business really, really well. Most people who will purchase a candle will also probably be interested in a body butter or a face mask or a perfume oil. And most of the oils that you use for your candles, you can use in a lot of your body care products, especially if you use them from Wood and Wick, because usually they go hand in hand and they are accessible to multiple options, not just candles. So those would probably be my biggest pieces of advice. And I would say that the hardest challenge with starting a skincare line is learning how to market it, learning how to basically put yourself out there and introduce a whole new line. I'm still trying to get better at it, so I really don't have too much advice on it, but that's pretty much everything that I would like to add to this.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Jess. And with that, everyone, we're going to go ahead and open up the floor for a quick Q&A. So if you are on right now, we are going to do this through the reactions button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. You can go ahead and raise your hand using the reactions button, and our amazing assistant will unmute you and turn your video on so that we can see your amazing faces. So we'll go ahead and open the floor for questions. Andrea, go ahead and take it away. Let everyone get situated here. Any questions? No questions.
I think they're just coming up with.
Just coming up with them. Well, if you're just coming up with them, guys, you can also feel free to put them in the chat, and then we can answer them here too if you're feeling a little bashful today. I know we just threw a lot of information at you in a short amount of time.
Yeah, even if it's just asking what something meant that I said, that's
clarification is always good.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Chelsea has a question.
I'm sorry, Chelsea, do you have a question?
She said, how do you incorporate ascorbic acid to a skincare product?
Okay, great. Chelsea has a great question. How do you incorporate absorbic acid into a skincare product? Matt, would you like to answer that?
So ascorbic acid, yeah, I understand the reason for the question. There's sometimes some stability issues if not incorporated properly. Vitamin C is one of those ingredients that should be added after the emulsification phase, but with heating. If you want to go ahead and like separate a little bit of it out, dissolve it in water and then dissolve that into some glycerin, I would generally go like 5 to 10 times as much vitamin C to water and then 2 to 5 times as much water to glycerin. And then if you stabilize that in a compound first and then add that to your formula, it's usually a lot more stable. Because I know vitamin C, if it's not stabilized beforehand, can cause some brown streaking as it oxidizes.
Interesting. So in terms of adding it to additional compounds, so you add it to you distill it into the glycerin, right? And then you add it to another compound like the emulsification, like the emulsifying wax mixed with the rosehip oil that we did, or is that?
So we would add it like basically when we added the GeoGuard and the fragrance to the Dreamy Rose face mask, that's when you would want to complex your vitamin C since it is unstable at high heat. So adding it in when it's too warm could definitely increase the odds that it's going to oxidize in an apparent brown color.
Okay, great.
But yeah, if it's stabilized, if it's stabilized in the glycerin, that helps to more evenly distribute it and kind of protect it from that oxidation as well. And if you're using a vitamin C product, I would suggest using a container that does not let light through. So something either opaque or dark colored.
Okay, great. Yeah, so like an amber jar or something like that,
Yes,
an amber bottle.
Amber's perfect.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, Matt. That's great info. Just so you guys, in case you guys wanted a recap of that, if you're using ascorbic acid or vitamin C, it has the potential to oxidize. So refer to Matt's advice about adding it in at low temperatures after you've already created your emulsified mixture, correct?
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. Any more questions?
What is a good option to thicken shampoo and be on the natural side?
Awesome. So we have a question about thickening shampoo. Be on the natural side.
So that comes, when it comes to shampoos and liquid soaps, there's 2 ways you can thicken something. I would take a look at your ingredient listing on the Inkies. If you have your surfactant blend, if it contains something that's either sulfates, which that's your choice, or if it has something with the word sultane, SULTAINE, those are actually salt thickening. So if you add 1 to 5% salt at the end of your formulation, and start mixing it in, you'll notice a very viscous texture starts to form. And if you don't have those surfactants in there, you can also thicken it by adding more xanthan gum and other types of gelling agents like that.
So for more natural, you would say maybe xanthan gum is a good option for that, or is there another thickening agent that's more natural that you think?
I think xanthan gum is a very universal and natural option. It's good in almost any kind of product, from shampoos all the way through like just face serums and aloe gels.
Amazing. Okay. That's how you thicken your shampoo.
And yeah, with the xanthan gum, I would go for like the half a percent to 1%.
Cool. Right. Next question.
How can you calculate the shelf life of the finished product?
Oh, we want to pass this one to Jess to answer. Jess, we're going to pass the mic to you to talk about calculating the shelf life of a product.
Can you hear me? For me, it's kind of depends on what I am making. I don't know if there's an exact formulation, so I feel like Matt would be better to answer that. But for me, if I'm using a product that I know has a good shelf life of 1 year and I combine it with other products that have good shelf life of 1 year, I could probably safely assume that it's going to be around 6 months to a year. But I don't know if there's like a calculator or formulation that I can use to get a better idea of an exact number. So I'm going to pass it over back to Matt and see what he says.
If it's something like just saying, if you're trying to be a small business, there's what's called accelerated stability studies. and stability and compatibility studies. The FDA has guidelines on their websites, but the simple of it is you basically put your product into an incubator at 40 degrees Celsius, so like 120 Fahrenheit. And it basically goes through 3 rounds of testing at month intervals. And if it makes it through 3 months of stability testing in the incubator, that's equivalent to a 2-year shelf life for any cosmetic, topical, non-OTC product.
Wow.
So if you're claiming SPF, you cannot, 3 months isn't enough, you need 6.
Wow. That's really good to know. So what was that website? Inky's website?
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
It's on the FDA website. I don't.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like
On the
FDA.
website.
Yeah, with accelerated stability protocols. They'll have a guideline,
Cool.
and third-party labs will contract that for you, and that's necessary if you want to be a small business and be able to make 1-year or 2-year shelf life claims.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. That's great info. Do we have any more questions out there?
Chelsea also asked, does a lotion or cleansers bases be used for facial products?
To the lotions or cleanser bases that we sell specifically?
I assume so, yeah.
Sure. Chelsea, I think we're understanding your question properly, but correct us if not, go ahead and put it in the chat. But Chelsea's asking, sorry, we need to hear that one more time.
Does the lotion or cleansers bases be used for facial products?
Gotcha. So the lotion and cleanser bases that we carry, can they be used for facial products?
I think that comes down to your preference as a consumer, actually. So if I would go ahead and test them out first, try whatever lotion base you think might work best. I'm trying to think. It's like the aloe lotion that I've seen on the website looks like it would be probably the closest to a face lotion. And I would try it, see if it makes your face feel greasy or if it's got like a little tacky after feel that is noticeable. And if it is, you can always purchase an additional oil off of the website, maybe something that you think will add a nice benefit. Or you could add a little more, you can water it down, add some more oil, and then maybe even add like some glycerin or something, just a little humectant to draw water to the surface of the face. But I think with a little playing around, there's no reason they couldn't be used for the face.
Amazing. Yeah, we actually already have pre-formulated facial oils too as well. Our light face and body oil, and then
Rich.
our rich, yes, rich face and body oil.
Those are really great oil blends. For the skin and hair that's coming out, I'm actually planning to use those in quite a lot of projects because
Amazing.
the blend that it already has in it is really beneficial in a lot of ways.
Yeah, what are some of the oils in there that are beneficial?
What's really cool about the light oil is it has macadamia nut oil, which is really beneficial because it has a unique omega fatty acid composition. It actually has like omega-7, I think is what it is.
Oh, wow.
Which is really rare, but it's essential fatty acid as well. And it's actually, on top of being really beneficial, it has a really nice, like almost silicone-like feel where it leaves that dry, silky after feel.
Amazing. Yeah, so it's like lightweight, but not super, it's not greasy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, thanks guys for your questions. I think we've got time for about one more. If there's anyone out there who wants to squeeze their question in really quick.
Will a written recipe be available for those of us who are hearing impaired with credit captions for this video?
Oh, sure, absolutely. So we will be sending out the project again with the written instructions. It's available on our website, the Dreamy Dreamy Rose Clay Face Mask Project. And we will send a link out. We also send the recording out so that you guys either have, if you are written instruction oriented, or if you prefer to see and watch and hear, we can send that to you as well. So awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you guys learned a lot of information. If you did not get the project that we did today and you're interested in purchasing it, we have a variety of body care projects on our website that you can get started. As Jess was saying, starting with a pre-formulated project is a good place to start if you're new to the body care industry and you really want to get started. So we've got the Dreamy Rose Face Mask project on there, as well as a variety of other projects, bath salts, face and body oils, lotions, all kinds of fun stuff.
I think they were looking at a bath bomb too at some point.
Oh yeah, we have bath bomb up there too. The bath bombs are super fun. So go ahead and check those out. Your Love Fest coupon, if you did not use it, it'll be active and you'll be able to use that on any of the body care projects. that are listed up there. So it's Love Fest, all caps. And again, we will send an email out with this recording, as well as the written instructions and your coupon reminding you that it's there and that you can use it. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much, Jess, for joining us today. We really appreciate you sharing your experience and your insight with our community. And thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you again next time. Have a wonderful Valentine's, and just remember, men mask too, right, Matt?
At least once a week.
At least once a week. Yep. So, just a reminder, actually, guys, before we sign off, make sure that you let your masks sit overnight if you're planning to sell them or gift them, and then you can go ahead and put that little white insert at the top. Actually, right here, a little white insert. And if you made your project, we want to go ahead and share that with everyone right now. So if you did make a project and you want to kind of show it, go ahead and turn your video on, and we want to see what you created. It should look nice and creamy in your container. You can fill it up a little bit higher than that. We just put it in there so you could see it a little bit better. But after 24 hours, you'll go ahead and put the lid on, and then you can close them up and you're good to go. Amazing. So thanks for sharing your projects, guys. They look beautiful. You guys crushed it. And we will see you guys soon. So thank you again for joining us. And I hope you guys have a great night and happy Valentine's Day. Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.